sect.
So the ones who want the free college and all this other loans forgiven, they're the ones that you're angry at.
The
selfie stick folks.
I think there's an oversupply of them.
There's a lack of appreciation for the work ethic. There's also a lack of skills, an inability to work independently, an inability to take criticism.
So many of them are pampered, loser, morons.
My fear is that they're going to go from, helicopter parents who did everything for them and they're leaning now towards Bernie Sanders, who's promising big government and a welfare state that will do everything for them.
Are you talking about me? You talking about us? Neil does this segment. It's great. The Bitter Boomers, they come on the show every Friday at around this time. They, give their thoughts on millennials, how it's this generation. You just heard a little bit of it there. Now a millennial's in the chair today. We're bringing in other millennials. Millennial entrepreneur Ally Brito, Kristina Partsinevelos, and Millennial Politics founder Nathan Rubin. So we are the lazy ones, huh?
I know.
What about our age and the market that's been handed off to us? I think we've done pretty good the last 10 years, no?
I would say, yeah, we're just responsible for absolutely everything out there. All of this corporate debt, the government debt, it's the millennials' fault. But no, really, realistically, we do remember the 2008 recession. We're fully aware of what's going on in the markets. We may be doing things a little bit differently than the previous generations, but I don't think all the blame has to be put on the youngers, especially when you're talking about trading.
Nathan, what about that? Because a lot of this millennial generation graduated from college and the market was crashing, the economy was terrible. Yep. And since then has run with it to all-time highs.
I think that's exactly right, and I think I agree with what you were saying. Essentially, the unemployment rate is low, but the underemployment rate is high. Millennials are going to college, they're getting advanced degrees, and they're coming out and they're finding a very competitive world compared to the world of baby boomers and the silent generation. A lot of those folks were able to enter one career, stay with one company for 20, 30 years, come out with pensions. It's a different world. We're living in a gig economy, and millennials are just trying to stay above water. So this idea that why aren't millennials investing in the market? A lot of millennials don't have savings. They have student loan debt the size of a small mortgage, but they don't have a house to live in. They have to pay that every month.
Ally?
I believe that, I wish millennials would take a little bit of a different perspective and invest in themselves. For instance, this right here. This is my way of investing in myself. I go out to Mexico. I get the raw gold materials. I come to the United States. I manufacture. I market. I sell. I go to the post office. I ship these things out myself. And, that's pure capitalism working for me. And I think that that's something that millennials need to, I wish they would invest in themselves a little bit more.
Do you still have fears, though, of what happened, a decade ago as to whether or not this could creep back in next year or over the next 2 years, because it's fresh on the minds of a lot of folks.
Yeah, it's
especially with the R word coming, many people dropping the recession word.
Let's really, I don't think millennials have really ever been through a true recession, especially coming from a background like I have, where I have a Cuban heritage, and I have grandparents that came to this country on a socialist, communist, escaping that regime. They do not understand what a recession is, I don't believe. I just don't.
You were telling me yesterday, you're still paying off student loans. That's this generation.
I fit every stereotype that you can make about a millennial. Not that I'm living in my parents' basement, but that I don't own a car, I don't have property. Right. Yes, I cover financial news and I love it, but I do think that there are millennials investing. You have some that are taking the entrepreneurial route, but then you have some that are following the markets, investing, and even some that are taking it a step further and, doing all the coding for those algorithms that we keep complaining about. Maybe it's those guys that have switched over there, but I get friends all the time. I do think that some people, the younger generation, are following the headlines. So pot stocks are something that comes up quite often because it's something new and fresh, cannabis. And then the big tech ones, because it's often in the news, and we constantly use Apple every single day. We constantly use Instagram, so that's a part of Facebook. So these are topics that do come up, and millennials are paying attention from what I've seen.
I think I agree with that to an extent, but I do want to come back to this idea that millennials haven't experienced a recession. I think the effects of the last recession are still being felt, especially among the entry-level folks. I write about this in my book, Boomers to Millennials, and we talk about how millennials are skeptical of large institutions, whether that's the government or Wall Street, because we came of age during the longest-running war ever in United States history, with the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan, and we witnessed Wall Street banks basically gamble with people's life life savings to ship out subprime mortgages, to watching the stock market crash and burn, and then these savings that our parents and our grandparents had really worked for their entire lives just evaporate overnight, and no one in the Wall Street financial industry really was held truly accountable. So when you look at how millennials have all witnessed this happening, granted they may have been a little young. I know I was in high school during that time, but as you come out the other side, you start to wonder, what can we do differently? Did anything really change? Nothing really did. So all of those kind of elements to the 2007-2008 financial crisis, they're still bubbling under the surface there. Millennials are saying, I don't know if I want to be a part of it.
Yeah, accountability is a huge factor, and I think you're 100% right with a lot of companies, and we see that today with every single company and the data breaches. You can apply that across the board. I don't think in that case, when it comes to regulation, accountability, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
Well, I was going to say that the technology companies started by, people in their now 30s.
Right.
They're going to be the ones kind of going
Facebook
forward with,
and the younger generation is fueling Snapchat, even though stock is at an all-time low right now. But we contributed to the growth of a lot of these companies. And then going forward, look at Whole Foods and the meal kit programs like Blue Apron, even though that one's not doing very well. There's a lot of avenues that can cater to this change in taste, and there's opportunity there as well.
Ally, last question. I guess, is this a good time to take chances, considering there's so much uncertainty going into next year, and we're at or close to a high in the markets and the economy is doing well?
Absolutely. I think that you have to take a chance. I mean, I come from a background of taking chances. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here today. So, yeah, absolutely. And I think the best investment is yourself, always.
Ally Brito, Nathan Rubin, K-Parts. Appreciate all of you being here. Can you believe they said that stuff about us?
Doesn't surprise me.
And it's funny because one of them, Charles Brady, he was a rocker in his day.
Yeah.
He told me he partied all the time. So I don't know why he made all that, because he was just like us back then.
We love them, though.
Yeah.
They love us, too.